Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of our series on things beginners should know. I'm going to share a couple tips with you to make progressing on the guitar a much quicker process. I'll tell you how. Stay tuned. Let's rip. Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land, maybe you're not a lady or a gentleman, maybe you're a dog, maybe you're an alien. Welcome to the Third Rock from the Sun. We're glad to have you. No matter your gender, no matter your age, welcome. I'm going to show you 3 tips today on how to progress faster on the guitar. Simple and easy tips that maybe you haven't seen somewhere else. Maybe you have. You're going to see them again because I think it's going to be helpful to you. All right, you ready to roll? Here we go. Tip number 1. Where to actually fret the note on the guitar. So today let's pick a G note, 3rd fret on the low E string, right here. Okay, so you beginners, it's going to be a natural tendency that you guys are going to press too hard. You're not going to realize that you're pressing too hard, that you're picking too hard. Every beginner does it, okay? They think metal string, I got to push it down, I got to be metal. You don't. You're more efficient and you play better the lighter you push down, but did you know that it makes a huge difference on where you fret the note? The further away from the fret you have it, the worse it is. You run the risk of pressing too hard and pulling that note sharp. Nobody wants sharp, that cuts you. Nobody wants that. So the ideal place to put this is as close to the fret that you're fretting as possible. This makes sure that the note plays in tune correctly and also ensures that you're not pushing down too hard. That is where it requires the least amount of force from your finger to press that fret down. It also will play in tune and will buzz a whole lot less. Alright, so that's tip number 1. Make sure you get it as close to that fret as possible. Alright, tip number 2, the arch. We're not going to call it the golden arches because we're not selling hamburgers. We're teaching you how to play guitar better and quicker and progress faster. And what I mean by that is you need to learn how to arch your hand. You got to arch it up, okay? So, as a beginner, let's say you take a G chord, okay, a G major chord, which is played like this. Notice how I'm not arching my hand and all the notes are flat, okay? Also, a natural tendency as a beginner to do this. So notice if I play this chord, some of the notes aren't coming through and some of them aren't right, okay? It's because you're not arching your hand. You need to bring that hand up and bring your fingers down like little hammers to play right on the fret. Notice that my fingers are as close to the frets as possible as tip number 1. You didn't see tip number 1, you fast forwarded to tip number 2, rewind it to tip number 3. So rewind, I don't know, scrub, I think they call it. Just back up, just back up. Okay, bring your fingers down like little hammers. You know, maybe as a kid you played Super Mario Brothers and they had the little hammers, you know? Remember that little guy with the hammers? You couldn't beat him on that one level? Oh, what a pain. You had to crawl below him and hit. I digress. They need to come down like little hammers. I showed my age, didn't I? I'm in my 60s. It's okay. Laugh it up. Arch your hand, and you can hear every note in the chord crystal clear. Now, your thumb can go here, your thumb can go behind. There's no right or wrong, kiddos. That's the cool part about playing guitar. There are techniques you should have, but really, at the end of the day, it's like art. There's no right or wrong. Who's to say what you're doing is wrong? Now, there are techniques that are better than others, and there are things you should do to help your playing, but there's no right or wrong. That's the great part about this, guys. It's a great part. Love it. Okay, so the arch. Make sure it's up, not just for a G chord, for all chords. You can hear every note in a chord, they're all crystal clear, and your finger isn't touching more than one string at a time. That's the trick, that's the key. Arch the hand, okay? So there's that. On to tip number 3. And for tip number 3, what I want to tell you is, maybe you come in, you know, maybe you're progressing a whole bunch and you want to play along with one of your favorite songs, right? So you throw the CD in, you start to play, and you're playing it at the same speed, but you notice it doesn't sound anything like the person playing it on the record. You know why? Because you're playing it too fast, too soon. If you want to play fast, you've got to play it slow. The reason you play guitar is, you know, you want to do this, man. You want to do it. You want to play along with you. Maybe you want to write your own stuff. if you want to do that, you've got to learn to play it slow first, okay? All guitar playing is muscle memory, right? Think of all your fingers, all your little muscles in your fingers as little elephants, okay? Little elephants, only without the trunk, unless somebody brings in peanuts, and then, you know, you go for them, okay? Just remember that they're little sponges for memory, okay? You have to play it right 1,000,000 times slowly before you'll ever play it correctly up to speed. Get yourselves a metronome, right? You got a playing time, your heart has a rhythm, right? Your heart has a beat, right? Everything's about rhythm. Get yourself a metronome. Learn to play it slow first, okay? Maybe there's a lick on a record that you want to play that you just gotta play it slow first, like maybe like a little bluesy. But maybe the player plays it really fast, right? And you play it and it goes, that sounded terrible, right? Because you're trying to play it too fast, too quickly. You've got to learn to play it right and get those fingers to come down like little hammers right below the fret, behind the fret. In order to get it to sound correctly fast, you gotta do it a bunch of times slow. Slow down out there, kids. There's a speed limit as a beginner. Speed limit. It's not 55, it's 35. Play 35 first, okay? Then we'll move up to 55. You can't just get your license at 12 because you think you can drive. You gotta do it, man. You gotta progress. Okay? So that's today's 3 tips for beginners. Maybe I missed 3. Maybe these aren't your favorite 3. Comment down below what you think tips for beginners, right? Maybe you were a beginner and now you're a professional. Maybe you have 3 tips. Put them down below. Maybe we'll put them in the second episode, right? Or a third episode. This is the second episode. Oopsie. Go back and watch the first one, by the way, if you haven't seen the first one yet. Great tips. There's going to be a number 3, so make sure you stick around for that one. Okay, we're going to keep doing this as long as you keep watching, because I think that all of you guys should keep progressing and play the guitar as best you can. Come in and play a song for me. That's the deal. I want to see you guys come in and play a song. All right? So until then, we'll see you next time. Ooh, you stuck around to the end. You waited. Bonus tip time. Bonus tip. You ready for the bonus tip? When you can, try to play with a friend. I got my friend right here, Sty. He accompanies me in all these, making sure that I play things correctly. And when you play along with a friend, you feed off of each other. Maybe your friend has learned something and is going to teach you. Maybe you learn this cool lick, like you want to show your friend, right? And you show him, and then you just keep feeding off of each other. Maybe you start a band together and revolutionize the world. I don't know. Maybe when you can, try to play along with a friend. It doesn't even have to be a guitar player, right? Maybe you found a bass player that wants to jam. Play along with each other. You're going to feed off of each other, and in the end, both of you win. Okay? So that's today's bonus tip. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. See? You should watch all the way to the end of my stuff.